31 career wins, 20 knockouts. Gervacio, 30 wins with 23 KOs. Now you get a look at Hector Acero Sanchez, who won the championship in this ring against Tracy Harris Patterson back in August. And Julio Gervacio from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. And the sunglasses will not be factored into that tail for this afternoon's championship bout. A raucous crowd. Acero Sanchez, 3 years younger. They are both at the same height. They are both at 122 pounds, which is the super bantamweight. And they both have a 70-inch reach. The rules for this fight will be governed by the WBC. A 10-point must system. 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. There is no standing 8 count. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight. And an accidental foul, we will go to the scorecards after the 3rd round. That is the rules as governed by the WBC. Let's go for the introductions for today's championship bout with our ring announcer, Ed Darian.
We are live from Ballys Park Place here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, as Garden State Boxing and Budweiser, the king of beers, in association with Ballys, proudly present the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the Honorable Larry Hazard, Senior Commissioner, the Honorable Jerry Gormley, Chairman. Members of the board include Gary Shaw and Al Daniels, Sr. The Chief Physician in attendance at ringside this afternoon is Dr. Frank B. Doggett, along with Dr. Eric A. Wormser and Dr. Kenneth Remsen. Is sanctioned by the WBC. The supervisor in charge in attendance at ringside is Steve Crossan of Dallas, Texas. The judges, Henry Ellis Prue of Sacramento, California, Kazumasa Kuwata of Yamaguchi-ken, Japan, and Barbara Perez of Barnegat, New Jersey. The timekeeper, the bell, is Earl Curry. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Benji Estevez. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled WBC Super Bantamweight Championship is Tony Perez of Barnegat, New Jersey. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with the white trim. He weighed in at an even 122 pounds. Now, this young man has 30 big wins, 3 losses, 2 draws with 23 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, all the way from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Julio Gervacio. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the camouflage green trunks with the white trim. He too weighed in at an even 122 pounds. Now he has 31 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, with 20 knockouts. A native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, and now making his home in the Bronx, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the WBC Super Bantamweight Champion, Hector Acero Sanchez.
Gervacio, Acero, yo le di las instrucciones en el dressing room. 2 cosas quiero que se acuerden. Mantengan y obedezcan mis instrucciones y protéjanse en todo momento. Desen la mano y buena suerte. Okay.
Well, it is a packed and very juiced up Bally room here at Bally's Park Place in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Hector Acero Sanchez out of the Dominican Republic by way of the Bronx, New York, against Julio Gervacio. Gervacio was born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, but he fights out of San Juan, so there is all types of bad blood. This one is scheduled for 12, and we begin round number 1. Bob Papa, along with the IBF featherweight champion of the world, Boom Boom Johnson.
From the paperwork, this seemed to be a pretty competitive fight.
Acero Sanchez, who is in the camouflage trunks, won his championship, the WBC Super Bantamweight title, right in this very ring back in August, as he won a decision against Tracy Harris Patterson. Many, including myself, didn't give him much of a shot to win that fight. But his style, which appeared awkward early on, caused Patterson fits. Good right hand by Gervacio.
Neither fighter is really, both these fighters are ready to get in there and mix it up. Neither one of them is on the pull-out scene. They're just trying to get in there and release some bombs at each other.
Oh, and Acero Sanchez is at his most effective. It's when he works off his jab.
Seems like he's trying to position himself and set himself up as the counter-punching role. He's trying to counter-punch the guy as soon as he comes in.
Gervacio was in the ring a good 2 to 3 minutes ahead of Acero Sanchez. Matter of fact, New Jersey Athletic Commissioner Larry Hazard came up to the top of the ring and was wondering where Acero Sanchez and his camp was. And at that moment, they came out of the locker room. And right now, both fighters trying to mix it up with left hooks.
These guys are not wasting any time mixing it up. Gervacio keeps leading with that right hand and seems to have a little bit of success with that. Sanchez just landing the right hand himself.
One thing about Acero Sanchez, he's awkward, but he makes his opponents miss. And so far, Gervacio has missed despite putting on an attack.
Yeah, Sanchez is very elusive in there. He has the way of backing up and making the guy miss it. Giving you a target and taking it away is what we call it in the gym.
Would you say both of these fighters are on the taller end of the super bantamweights at 5'7"?
Yeah, both of them are very tall for the weight division. Sanchez seems to be putting his punches together. Seems to be trying to dictate and take control of the first round.
Closing seconds of round number 1. Not many punches landed.
It's a good fill-out round. It's really hard to say who actually won that round. Let me go with Sanchez myself.
And there are fans with the Dominican flag running around here in the Bally Room right behind us. You see it on your monitor. I'm fired up about this one. We had a singer sing the Dominican national anthem before the fight, although Gervacio embraces San Juan, Puerto Rico, as you get a look at the corner of Hector Acero Sanchez.
Termine todo con tu gancho de izquierda. Bien, con esta mano bien arribita y termina tu gancho izquierdo.
And we begin round number 2 as Hector Acero Sanchez comes out of his corner, fighting out of the Bronx by way of the Dominican Republic. He is in the camouflage. Julio Gervacio is in the solid red trunks. This one is scheduled for 12.
Also seems, unless this is his style, he seems to be real tight up in the shoulders. Because where Sanchez is very loose and very elusive and running off combinations.
A lot of action, not many punches landed, but the crowd loves it.
Yeah, these two guys seem to have bad blood for each other. They're fighting with bad intentions.
A lot of pride for the country.
Sometimes that means a lot more than just winning.
Right.
They fight exchange left hooks right there. I think Sanchez got the better exchange there.
once again, both rip off those lefts.
Pretty good, interesting fight right about now. It's, not one fighter is actually really to control of the fight.
And Acero Sanchez with the counter work with the left hand there. Go ahead, Bimbo.
He seems to adapt to the counter punching role, which he's finding a great deal of success in.
Acero Sanchez ducks away from Gervacio, and he gives him a smile. Acero Sanchez is, as we've learned, as he scores with the right, is a pretty slick boxer.
Yeah, he's very slick. He's very awkward and he's slick, and he does a lot of upper body movement, which throws a lot of guys out because it seems as though he's easy to hit when actually he's not.
Acero Sanchez may have gotten hit with the head of Gervacio there. One thing Acero Sanchez had a lot of success with against Tracy Harris Patterson was fighting off the ropes.
Yes, he did. He had a great deal of success. This guy seems to be a pretty good puncher, but he hasn't landed anything yet. Gervacio, he seems to be a decent puncher. I don't think Sanchez wants to stand there and try to trade with him because he's doing such an excellent job in counter punching.
That is the end of round 2, a dirty look.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to your attention introduce two fighters winning here at Ballys. The chief fighting officer here at Ballys, Mr. Hector, representing Rise, Hector. Chief operating officer. And sitting right next door to Mr. McCoy is the vice president of marketing and the man responsible for bringing great boxing here at Ballys.
Well, the crowd really enjoying what we've seen so far. Let's take a look at some of the action from round 2 as they go toe to toe. Boom, boom.
Both fighters is exchanging real good on the inside. Both fighters catching each other. Gervacio is trying to stay down low and come up top, but Sanchez is very elusive and he's making a very awkward target to hit.
Round number 3 is underway. Hector Acero Sanchez and Julio Gervacio scheduled for 12 rounds. This is the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. The title is held by Acero Sanchez.
He lands a good lead right hand right there.
And a right hand again. Scores. That catches the attention of Gervacio, but Acero Sanchez fires wide right.
Sanchez seems to look like he's going for the knockout in this 3rd round. He's found every shot with bad intentions.
You know, I wonder, and I'll pose this to you. We saw Acero Sanchez in a methodical win against Tracy Harris Patterson fight very disciplined. Now that he's fighting a fellow countryman who now fights out of Puerto Rico and there appears to be bad blood, could that be dangerous for Acero Sanchez? Get him off his game?
It could be very dangerous for him because he may be fighting for the wrong reasons in this particular fight and allow himself to get caught up and get exchanged. But right now he's having success at will at whatever he's trying to do, so it might be the best thing for him right now.
Gervacio tries to push forward, but Acero Sanchez is still the sharper of the two.
Yeah, he's got Gervacio running into punches, and he's just trying very hard. So what he's trying to do may work for him.
That's where Acero Sanchez is so skilled with his back to the ropes. He will make you miss time and time again.
When you got a guy up against the ropes like that, the hardest thing to hit is his head. You're supposed to go directly to the body and stay there till his head becomes available. But these guys today, sometimes including myself, we want to hit the guy in the head sometimes when the body's never going to move.
What do they say? The body never moves. The head eventually comes down. If you hit the body that doesn't move.
Kill the body, the head will fall.
Good little combination by Acero Sanchez. Now he's just kind of picking his spots.
This is the Sanchez who looks like the one title from Tracy Pettis. He's getting to settle down into his own, and he's doing exactly what he knows how to do, beginning to take control of the fight.
Doesn't look like Julio Gervacio has much of a game plan, where Acero Sanchez seems to have one.
Well, it has a lot to do with the overall ability. Sanchez is basically just utilizing his skills, and Gervacio is trying to coach him into a roughhouse type of fight, and he's not falling for that. So right now, Gervacio is just kind of lost in the fight.
Well, as we drift to the end of round number 3, Hector Acero Sanchez with another good round in his pocket. Let's listen in to the corner of Hector Acero Sanchez.
Estamos bien, 3 abajo.
Boom Boom Johnson, let's take a look at some of the action from round number 3. Effectiveness from Hector Acero Sanchez.
He landed a good left hand, left-right, which the right hand was basically on the tail end of his head. He really didn't get a good shot. There we go. He landed a good right hand right there, which is, like I said once before, he seems like he's taking control of the rounds.
We start round number 4, whether you speak Spanish, English, Chinese. You can understand the corner of Hector Acero Sanchez in that corner saying jab, 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 jab. Everything off the jab.
Well, once he does that, he has a great deal of success in every combination that comes behind the jab, because you're blinding the man with the jab and you're stealing him with the right hand.
There have been no knockdowns to this point. This is round 4, scheduled for 12. The champion is in the camouflage, Hector Acero Sanchez. It's got to be frustrating for a guy like Gervacio here. He's got Sanchez against the rope, but that's where Acero Sanchez seems to do his best work.
Well, that's because he's swinging at the head. You know, the head is where, when you fight a guy like Sanchez, you cannot hit him in the head, especially such early on in the fight, because it's so elusive. You have to go to the body. You have to kill the body to deteriorate some of that lateral movement.
Referee Tony Perez stepped in to break the fighters, but Acero Sanchez did score the right out of that corner.
So right now, Sanchez seems to have his number, and he's doing a great job of doing it.
And Julio Gervacio has not been able to mount much of an attack.
No, he can't seem to get on track with any one of his punches. He may land one every now and then, but he's just not really getting on track. He seems as though he really doesn't know how to maintain Sanchez.
You made a good point. He seems a little stiff in the shoulders, a little tight. Doesn't seem like he's willing to let his hands fly either.
But you would think by the 4th round he would start loosening up a little bit, unless this is just the way he fights. Unless he just chokes up all of his punches. But there's no way he's going to hit this guy unless he becomes a little bit relaxed and looser in his shoulders, because his punches are too slow.
Gervacio tried to right, and Sanchez just kind of countered off it.
I say he went to the body a few minutes ago. That's something you haven't really seen much in this fight, as we did in the fight before. So a lot of body work. You haven't seen that much in this fight.
Well, this crowd really getting into it in the final seconds of round 4. And not much happened in the round, really, except for a lot of yelling by the fans.
Sanchez seems to be able to take control of the fight. He got Gervacio very frustrated, and he's not putting himself in any danger by taking chances in the exchanges. So I think he's winning the fight handily right about now.
Yeah, I have it 4-zip right now. Hey, look at Gervacio. Who does he look like? Olajuwon.
Yes, he does. Look like a smaller version of Olajuwon.
He needs to start hitting a couple of dunks.
Yeah, that would definitely help his team out, make him feel a lot better.
If you're Gervacio's corner, what do you tell him here? What do you tell him?
You tell him he got to get in there and pick his punches up. He's got to start letting his hands flow. Forget about trying to fight the man style and just start fighting the way he's able to fight. Let his punches flow for one thing. He has to release them shots, else he's going to continue to get beat.
We start round number 5. The 12 rounds of WBC Super Bantamweight Championship action. The champion is Hector Acero Sanchez. Julio Gervacio is the challenger. Both fighters born in the Dominican Republic. Gervacio now fights out of San Juan. Acero Sanchez out of the Bronx in New York City.
Looks like Sanchez just beating him at punch on the inside, on the outside. It seems like he's really taking control of the fight. And unless Gervacio loosens up a little bit, he's going to have a long night.
Sometimes, too, it gets to the point where one guy is just better. One guy just has better skills.
Yeah, and he's utilizing all his skills. I mean, it shows that he's very versatile, and whichever way Gervacio chooses to fight, Sanchez has been able to outdo him.
Acero Sanchez in a headlock by Gervacio. Referee Tony Perez gives the warning.
Every time Gervacio seems as though he's going to try to get off, Sanchez comes back and takes control of the fight.
Acero Sanchez with a couple of good shots to the body, the chest area of Gervacio. Well, you heard some chants of Hector for Acero Sanchez.
Right now, Sanchez is having his way. I don't think he really needs the chance because he's not in any trouble. There he just got caught with a good right hand on the rope.
And a left inside seemed to hurt him a little bit as well. And a right hand scores. And Acero Sanchez is in trouble. A left scores.
Sanchez is in big trouble right about now.
Julio Gervacio putting the pressure on. Time remaining in round 5, 40 seconds.
Big turnaround for Gervacio.
A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. These are WBC rules. Can Gervacio finish him off and win the title?
Sanchez still looks a little bit shaky right now, but Gervacio is not jumping on him and trying to take the spark out of him. I think he's going to let him recuperate. No. Hasn't been a knockdown yet, right?
No knockdown in the round. Acero Sanchez able to somehow stay up. He was on his way going out, and Gervacio may have made the biggest mistake by not finishing him in round 5.
Acero, fíjate lo que te dije. Hiere. Este hombre hiere.
Boom Boom Johnson, let's take a look at Acero Sanchez nearly get knocked out for his title.
Yeah, one of the mistakes that Sanchez has made, he continues to fall back on the ropes with his hands down, and this time, Gervacio capitalized on it and caught him with some real good right hands and left hooks.
Shot to the body really seemed to hurt him, too.
Yeah, it took a lot out of him. Some of the kind of shots that you don't see that generally stops you dead in your tracks, and that's what happened in this particular moment.
But Acero Sanchez is able to kind of hold on. Right now, he's just about out. But he's able to tie up Gervacio just enough You see him right here getting knocked around.
Yeah, the mistake Gervacio made, he didn't settle down and see the damage in which he done. He just kept working.
So we begin round number 6, and maybe the complexion of this fight has changed. Hector Acero Sanchez was cruising through the first 4 rounds, but Julio Gervacio with a big round number 5, and let's see if he can capitalize on it. Did he let a golden opportunity slip away?
Well, it's really hard to say right now. It depends on what he comes out and do this round. But right now, it looks like he hasn't really come out to do anything. He's just laying back on the end, and it's going to allow Sanchez to get back into the mode of things.
Boom, boom, let me ask you, even though there wasn't a knockdown there, would you score that a 10-8 round because of the way that Gervacio dominated it?
Well, not really, because Sanchez was winning the early part of the round. Gervacio won the last part of the round, but I wouldn't give it a 10-8 round. I would give it a 10-9.
I've always been a big believer of 10-8 rounds, even if there isn't a knockdown, but a guy needs to dominate the whole round.
Yeah, he didn't dominate the whole round. He just dominated the last 30, 40 seconds of the round.
Well, Acero Sanchez has done a pretty good job of first of all, not going down in round 5, and he seems to have found his legs a little bit here, and he's keeping the fight in the middle of the ring where he needs to.
Yeah, that's the point of a very good fighter who's utilizing his head and his ability. He's not falling back on the ropes, allowing Gervacio to throw the big bombs. Seems like he's got himself back together, though, so it might be a different fight now.
And why Julio Gervacio didn't jump right back on Acero Sanchez near the end of that 5th round, I'll never know.
Perhaps why he didn't come back and jump on him on the 6th round. You know, it's hard to say about guys in a position. Maybe the inexperience in the butterflies in his first championship fight.
Now, if you're Gervacio, do you try to just bull rush Acero Sanchez into the ropes and get him pinned in there?
Yes, you do. You try to make him get into a fight, because it seems on the outside he's not going to have any success on the outside. So you go in and you try to make this guy fight when he don't want to fight. You got to take the play out of his legs.
This has been a pretty good round for Hector Acero Sanchez, considering where he was at the end of round 5.
You see, he's got himself back together and took control of him. I have him winning this round handily. Landing some pretty good shots himself.
And that is the end of round 6, and I agree with you, Boom Boom Johnson. Acero Sanchez back on the bike and did a good job in round 6 to win it.
Reminder, once again.
Yeah, it seems as though he went back and he listened to his corner, which is the marks of an intelligent fighter who's coming up in the ranks.
The boxing events here in the state of New Jersey. Their cooperation is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Escúchale que viene Gervacio, coge distancia, te está desesperando.
Tranquilo, estamos bien. Oye, cerca de él. Y lo vamos a combinar, no te aguanta las manos. Ok, tú no quieres ser campeón mundial. ¿Verdad que sí? ¿Verdad que tu mamá?
Well, Julio Gervacio, fighting out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, gets a slap from his corner. And he had a golden opportunity near the end of round 5 to maybe knock out Acero Sanchez and win the title, but right now I have it 5 rounds 1 in favor of Acero Sanchez as we start round 7.
And Sanchez seemed to pull himself back together in the 6th round and take control back of this fight. I think had Gervacio jumped on him in the 6th round as he did come out in the 7th round, he might have had a little bit more success that last round.
Hector Acero Sanchez, who won this title, the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship in this ring back in August, nearly lost it in round 5, but he seems to have steadied the ship.
He seemed to pull himself back together and he's doing what he's supposed to do, keeping the fight in control with his jab and his lateral movement.
Acero Sanchez in the camouflage has done a very good job at keeping this fight in the middle of the ring. Although he has done well fighting off the ropes, after he got in trouble in round 5, he said, you know what, I like the center part here better.
He's doing an excellent job in keeping the guy at bay and allowing him to miss.
And, you know, after getting knocked around a little bit, Acero Sanchez, you know, he's kind of slowed the pace down as Gervacio has him against the ropes. And the less action there is, obviously, in any fight will favor the champion, won't it? When you have the title.
Gervacio needs to jump on this guy and really act as though he's trying to win the title. He can't allow this guy to dictate and flow round after round, because he's going to lose this fight convincingly, which I think he's doing right now.
Yeah, they're not going to give you a decision for fighting a good half of one round.
No.
And other than that, Acero Sanchez has just fought the better fight. And Gervacio, he's coming straight at. If you were coaching Gervacio, how would you tell him to get inside and get his way in, other than just walk right in?
Well, when you come in, he seems to have the right idea. He's trying to give him angles, but once he gets there, he's not letting his hands go. He's getting there looking for a particular spot to punch in. Sanchez is just not there for that. You know, you got to just get in and let your hands go. Can't get in looking for a particular shot. So once you get on the inside, he's looking for a particular shot.
I guess by the time you get in and you throw, Sanchez is gone.
Well, what's happening is he's looking for somewhere to place the shot. He's really not just getting in and letting him go. You can trap a guy if you just go in and you just let your punches go. He goes in and he poses looking for a particular angle.
The chance of Hector start again as we end round 7.
No le gusta por abajo nada. Por ahí le huele.
The Bally Room at Bally's Park Place in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We get set for the start of round number 8. Bob Pompa along with the IBF featherweight champion of the world, Boom Boom Johnson. How do you have it scored so far, Boom Boom?
Well, I have Sanchez winning the fight 6 rounds to 1.
I think we're all in agreement with that. Round number 5, in which Acero Sanchez nearly went down, but steadied the ship, and other than that, he has dictated the terms of this fight. As we start round number 8, and, well, Gervacio is running out of time and running out of rounds.
Yeah, at this point, Gervacio is definitely going to need a knockout to win the fight, or at least get a draw. He's going to have to start putting his punches together and make a fight out of this. You can't allow him to keep walking around, falling and chasing this guy. He's got to make a fight out of it.
I'm very impressed with Hector Acero Sanchez in the fact of how he was hurt and how, you know, your average fight person like myself or the viewers watching says, well, you got to stay away from the ropes. And he has kept this fight off the ropes since that 5th round.
He's doing a very, very intelligent job at controlling this guy and not allowing himself to get up against the ropes. He's fighting very, very smart right now.
It scored clean, but it seemed to upset Acero Sanchez, who answers back with an uppercut inside.
Yeah, he caught him. Sanchez was slipping. The shot didn't really land. It kind of went glazed over the top of his head. As you can see, there was really no damage with that shot.
Sanchez does a good job of tying up Gervacio as referee Tony Perez steps in. Final minute 10 of this 8th round.
And not only is Sanchez proven to be the more skillful fighter, he's also proven to be the more smarter fighter.
Although he's awkward, he's well polished, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would. He's very skilled in there. He's very much in control and knows exactly what he wants to do and knows how to do it.
Acero Sanchez that time leads with a right hand. Haven't seen him do that too much. Everything is predicated off his jab, but he has some success with it.
He's starting to punch this guy from different angles. He's giving him different looks, which is seems to be very good, and he's having a lot of success with that. He's giving this guy different looks and different angles.
And Acero Sanchez gives a glance to referee Tony Perez as we come to the end of round number 8. And the champion out of the Bronx, New York, by way of the Dominican Republic, is in control, and Julio Gervacio trying to jumpstart this fight.
Tú eres retador, tú eres el que tiene que tomar la iniciativa, y cuando te acerque él, saca la mano abajo. No te desesperes, busca fuerza. Él no quiere pelear ya.
Sanchez.
Let's take a look here in round 8, Boom Boom Johnson. We wondered about that right hand thrown by Gervacio, and it did land.
It did?
Let's take a look. There
Yes,
it is,
it
right
did.
in
He
the
caught him
chin.
with a good shot on the chin. From this angle, it really was hard to tell, but on the TV angle, he caught him with a real good right hand. Gervacio seems to be the bigger puncher of the two, but he's really not getting his shots off.
Well, we are 2/3 of the way through this fight, and the one
And it
thing
goes
is
to
with-
tell, too, that Sanchez covered real well from that right hand.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one thing you have to be impressed with about Hector Acero Sanchez as he comes out to start round number 9. He was hurt bad at the end of round 5. He recovered, didn't even go down, and there he takes a right hand and once again maintains, and I thought he still won round 8.
Yeah, I thought he won round 8 because they didn't call that a knockdown, but he takes a real good shot from what I'm beginning to see today. He takes an excellent shot, really, as a champion.
There's a left hand that scores by Acero Sanchez. Got to the midsection by Acero Sanchez.
Yeah, so you see this guy with a lot of angles. He's fighting an excellent fight. He's fighting a very, very smart fight. Seems to know that Gervacio is the stronger two on the inside, so he's keeping him on the outside and handling him very well.
Gervacio is saying, bring it on, but if I'm Acero Sanchez, they say, I'm the champion, you come get my title.
That's the right attitude you're supposed to have. Come and get it if you want it.
I mean, Acero Sanchez has no reason to have to put or lead the action here.
No, he don't. He don't have to put anything on the line. He's already proven himself 8 rounds before. He's proven to be the better man. Now it's time to just be cautious and maintain and look to go the distance unless the knockout presents itself and walk out of the ring as champion.
Now the subplot that I asked you about as we hit the final minute of round 9. In most fights, Hector Acero Sanchez would probably just throw his jab out there and say, you come get it. But maybe because of the nationalistic feelings, the Dominican against the former Dominican, could Acero Sanchez be lulled into doing something maybe not that smart?
There's a possibility, but he seems to be smart enough to not be lured into any of those countryman mentality. He seems to know exactly what he wants to do. He seems to feel like he has the fight control and he has that mark. Come and get it if you want it.
Well, Gervacio has Acero Sanchez in the corner, but the champion does a nice job of tying up the challenger. And I'm just curious why a guy like Gervacio is not letting his hands fly at this point. What do you have to lose? What is he waiting for?
Sometimes a guy can hurt a guy and get caught up in looking for the one shot, the one big shot. And that seems to be what has happened with Gervacio. Every shot he throws with bad intention and he's looking for the one big shot, which I don't think he's going to learn.
And Acero Sanchez scores, dips, tucks away, and puts another round in his back pocket. 9 are in the books. I have an overwhelming 89-82 in favor of Acero Sanchez, 8 rounds to 1.
That's the exact same way I have it. Like I said, I think Gervacio is trying too hard to land the one big shot, which some guys get caught up in feeling like I can hurt this guy if I land this one shot, and they forget about how you land that shot. You gotta set it up, put your punches together, and then hope that it'll be there. But a guy that's so elusive as Sanchez is, it's hard to hit him with one big shot.
You know, Hector Acero Sanchez has won this fight in his own style. It's quick, it's slick. We're going to take a look at it.
It's one quick jab. It's very slick, and like I said, it's in his own style, and this guy, he's controlling him with that slick jab.
And you saw in that replay as Julio Gervacio looked to answer back. Acero Sanchez was already out of the way, already had slid away.
Yeah, what he's doing, he's also leading with the jab, and he's countering with the jab, which is also taking Gervacio completely out of the ballpark.
We begin round number 10. 3 rounds to go. The WBC Super Bantamweight Championship is on the line. Hector Acero Sanchez, 31-2-2 in the camouflage against the challenger Julio Gervacio, 33-2 with 23 knockouts. And when you take a look at it, they have 3-minute rounds. They've had 9 rounds so far fought. And right now, that's 27 minutes of boxing, and Acero Sanchez has probably won 25 and a half of the 27 minutes.
Yes, he has. And that's where he doesn't want to be. Does not want to be up against ropes. And he does a smart thing by coming off the ropes, putting Gervacio back up against the ropes, and letting the referee do his job.
Near the end of round 5, the second half of round 5, Gervacio had Acero Sanchez against the ropes, pounded him, but could not knock him down, let alone out. And Acero Sanchez has only taken one other bad shot since.
Yeah, see, Sanchez is doing a real smart thing. He's not trying to fight his way off the rope. He's tying him up and walking himself off the rope, allowing the referee to do his job and allowing himself to keep his composure and not let Gervacio get off with big shots.
Gervacio blocked that combination thrown by Acero Sanchez, but
took a left, a right uppercut behind and blocked, followed by a left hook. Sanchez is counting very well in this round. He's really doing an excellent job with his counter punches this round. He's making the guy miss, and in every angle that he takes, he's capitalizing on it with counter punches. Now trying to put his punches together, but it looks like it might be a little bit too late because he doesn't have the same spark on it as he did in the earlier rounds.
And Hector Acero Sanchez, even while backing up, has been able to score with his jab and shots to the body.
He's doing an excellent job with counter punching, backing up. So he just took a big left hook right there, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit of trouble, but the round will probably end before he gets hit again, and that's what happens. And round number 10 is in the books, and I still think Acero Sanchez is the better fighter from start to finish.
Yes, very seldom can a guy take one shot and win a fight, especially at the end of the fight. You know, the problem that I think with Gervacio now is, like I said, he's still looking for that one big shot. And when the guy is losing with Sanchez, it's very hard to land that shot. He needs to put his punches together and concentrate on trying to win rounds and not knock this guy out.
Now, as this round comes to an end, Hector Acero Sanchez gets hit, but we'll have to take a look at it. It's a little reckless by Gervacio.
Yeah, he's catching Sanchez, he's stalking Sanchez And he look at him, he's just stalking him and he's walking in, but he's real reckless and he's getting caught himself. He caught him with a good left hook right there, but he's real reckless right now. He's not landing anything big.
We start round number 11. Hector Acero Sanchez and Julio Gervacio, the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Acero Sanchez is the champion. All right, you're Boom Boom Johnson. They take Gervacio out. They put you in the ring right now. What do you do to beat this guy?
Well, when you get him up against the ropes, the key thing is stop trying to punch him at his head, set him up from down and under. You got to take him out of his game plan. Right now, Sanchez is very comfortable with what he's doing. You make Sanchez change up his work ethic, and you make it into a street fight. I mean, what do you have to lose? I mean, you've been beat for 10 rounds. I mean, the worst that can happen is you can get knocked out, but I'd rather get knocked out trying to knock him out.
There's another left hand by Acero Sanchez, though, that keeps Gervacio away. How do you cut off the angle when a guy like Acero Sanchez is just circling the ring like
this? Well, you step across him. Right now, he's just following. He's walking with him. He's not walking across him. And he's never going to catch the guy like that. He's got him walking and everything. You got to match the guy's rhythm in a situation like this to cut the ring off. Every time Sanchez steps to his left, Gervacio steps to his right, which he'll never time him like that.
And the more you watch Hector Acero Sanchez and the camouflage, the more impressed you are with his style.
Yeah, he has a very, very good style. He's very awkward and he's very elusive. He's a Herrera, I tell you that much. He puts you in the mind of looseness that Pernell Whitaker. Fight of ability, you know, he did a lot of smart things up against the ropes.
Oh, Acero Sanchez is willing to go right for right with Gervacio.
I think Sanchez is very confident. He took Gervacio's best punches, so now I think he's trying to see if Gervacio can take his the same.
But if you know you have probably 9 of the first 10 rounds in the book, why would you bother getting into that kind of scrap?
And sometimes that monster legend up, sometimes come up. And he's gotten plenty of guys in trouble. I just hope it doesn't get Sanchez in trouble because he does have to fight handily.
Closing 30 seconds of round number 11, and maybe all the chasing and the wild punches have caught up to Gervacio.
Yeah, he looks pretty weak, and looks like he's putting himself into a desperate state right now, but he looks tired. He looks like he tried to shoot his wide net round. I don't see it happening right now.
Well, Hector Acero Sanchez is now in control as we come to the end of round 11. Oh, and a good combination by the champion.
Salir a comerte. Quiero que tú utilices tu jab. No lo estás utilizando, Hector. Va a salir a comerte. Este jab, pistón, pistón.
Let's take a look at some of the action from round number 11. Acero Sanchez showing a little defense. And then at the end of the round, he comes up with the offense as well. Little defense, little offense.
There you go. He's pairing him shots off. He's blocking him shots with them long angles, and right here he's getting ready to connect him with a real good shot. He set him up for a good right hand, left hook, you know, which is very unusual and very smart in the late end of the round.
Referee Tony Perez asked the fighters to touch gloves. We begin the 12th and final round. Boom Boom Johnson, I have Hector Acero Sanchez up 10 rounds to 1. How about you?
That's my scores as well. I think right now Gervacio needs a knockout. He needs to let everything hang out and just go out there and realize the only thing he's got to lose is what he didn't come in there with, and that's the championship of the world. So he needs to let everything go and come out there and just try to bomb this game, take all the chances. But Sanchez is too smart for that. He knows the only way he can lose this fight is to be knocked out. And I don't think he's going to take that chance.
The only time Acero Sanchez was hurt was near the end of round 5, and he took one shot in round 8. Other than that, he's controlled it.
He's been in very much control, and he's controlling the 12th round the same with his movement and his jab. He's doing enough to really win this fight handily and convincingly, I believe, on everyone's scorecard. I know he has on mine.
The chance of Hector again from the Acero Sanchez fans.
I think the problem with Gervacio is he's trying to stay on the outside and fight Sanchez, but there's no way he's going to win this fight like that. He's got to get on the inside and try to rough this guy up. But Sanchez is too smart to let that happen, so I think we're just going to ride this one out for the decision.
Well, Julio Gervacio, when he looks at the tapes, will probably replay the end of round 5 over and over again as Acero Sanchez just ties up the challenger and the clock continues to drip away.
Both fighters exchange blows like that, but Sanchez seems to still be the stronger of the two fighters here in the 12th round. And the condition on these two fighters are excellent as well, because here we are in the 12th round and both fighters are still punching hard and going at each other, and Sanchez still has the same movement in the 12th round as he did in the first round, which is very excellent on his part and his trainer's part.
Yeah, so many times by this point in the fight, guys are just leaning on each other and the ref is just jumping in and breaking them, but Tony Perez has had a pretty easy day.
Yes, he has.
Well, it looks like Hector Acero Sanchez is on his way to his 32nd career victory. It would take a miracle for the championship to change hands now.
Yes, we only have 6 seconds. It will take a miracle.
And the fans to their feet. Around ringside with the Dominican flags and trying to get the crowd under control. Both fighters born in the Dominican Republic. I have Acero Sanchez winning at 119-109.
Easy. It's the exact same score I have. I thought he won 11 of the 12 rounds very handily. I would have said that the 5th round is close in the last 30 seconds of the 5th round. I thought he was winning that round as well.
Well, the Bedlam in the ring, they have some security up around ringside to keep the fans who are quite overzealous at this point. They keep them calm. It was a good crowd, though.
Yeah, a good crowd.
Into the fight, of course, both fighters of Dominican descent. Acero Sanchez fights out of the Bronx, and of course, Gervacio out of Puerto Rico, so that added another twist to this. The nationalistic pride as Hector Acero Sanchez poses for our camera. Now Larry Hazard, the commissioner in the state of New Jersey, has come up above us and try to get some of the fans with the flag down off the ring apron. You know, you're only allowed to have X amount of people from your camp up in the corner or on the ring apron.
Yeah, it's very dangerous for the fight fans to run up in the ring, because the guy it's very dangerous for the fighters, because anything can happen. The guy could get his foot stepped on, and you need to keep a lot of that, because you have a lot of anger and a lot of frustration built up in the corners.
Well, you and I both picked the same score of 119-109 for Hector Acero Sanchez. Let's find out the official decision from Ed Darien.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Ballys Park Place here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, I've got the scoring, and here it is. Judge Henry L. Esprut of California scores 117-111. Judge Barbara Perez of Barnegat, New Jersey has it 118-110. And Judge Kazumasa Kuwata of Japan scores 115-113. For the winner by unanimous decision, And still, the WBC Super Bantamweight Champion, Hector Acero Sanchez.
We had it 119-109. And the judges had it unanimous decision. Hector Acero Sanchez is the winner. You know, a lot of times fans who watch fights, Boom Boom Johnson, they get excited because they see a guy throwing big shots and they see a guy hurt a guy. But when you look at each individual round over the course of a fight, you got to weed all that stuff out.
Yeah, that's one thing. The fans, they really, a lot of fans come out, they get caught up in the excitement of the big punches, and they really don't see the small punches that really make up the difference and the dividends in the rounds.
So a pumped up crowd here at Ballys, and Julio Gervacio thought he was a winner.
Yeah, Gervacio thought he won the fight. He's over in the corner, he's crying, he's very upset. He feels like he was robbed, but I think when he goes home and he sees his fights, I think he'll know what happened and go home and try all over again.
Yeah, he's very upset, and he can't believe it, but you know, as you mentioned, Boom Boom, you take a look at the tape, and other than that second half of the 5th round and that one right hand in the 8th round, Julio Gervacio didn't land a lot of punches.
No, he didn't. He missed a lot of shots. He did too much, did a whole lot of posing in this fight rather than just releasing his hands as his corner instructor. And I think when he goes back, he has the ability to come back. This is his first title shot, and he has the ability to come back. He's a young fighter. Hopefully he come back and get another shot and possibly become champion.
Hector Acero Sanchez defends his WBC Super Bantamweight Championship with a unanimous decision over Julio Gervacio. On behalf of IBF Featherweight Champion Boom Boom Johnson and our producer Frank Belmont, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us.